First off, I want to say I don't own any rights to the songs being played in this video, and I also want to thank everyone involved in the making of this video. So let's get started.
Maybach music.
So I had the opportunity of stopping by their place of residence and put them through an interview process to ask them a couple of questions about their childhood experiences, recruitment, and why they chose Adrian.
So for me, basically, I wasn't really heavily recruited through high school. It didn't get to like my senior year. That's when schools started to like contact me and started to show a little interest in me. I didn't have any offers. I think my size kind of played a big factor in that. I mean, even the bigger schools like Northern Arizona, which is D1AA, Bethune-Cookman, Ferris State, to name a few, those were like the biggest schools that was recruiting me, but my size kind of played a factor. And honestly, none of them never really pulled the trigger, to offer me nothing like that. And then my test scores, they weren't the best. But Adrian throughout the whole process, man, they stayed with me. I mean, even when my grades were at a low, my test scores wasn't there, they stayed contacting me. They stayed, basically just motivating me and just letting me know that they're gonna always be there. And I actually took a year off after high school, so I graduated and I took a year off. And Coach O'Daffer, who, he's no longer with us right now at Adrian College, but I mean, he stayed in contact with me through the whole year. So that kind of like, that showed a lot to me. That showed that, the love and, support, from the school and from him. So that kind of led me to Adrian. And then also Stu was already, he was already up here too. So that kind of made me, a little more comfortable too. So that's my process.
For me, going into high school, man, I played varsity as a freshman. So kind of had some hype around my name and stuff. It was kind of buzzing. And through high school, I had like every year I had a different offensive coordinator. Then eventually as a sophomore I played defense. So when that came, I started getting a lot of interest going into my junior year. My sophomore spring, my junior fall, a lot of big schools asking about me, like Florida State, Wake Forest, not Michigan, but Ole Miss, FAU, FIU, a lot of big schools, So I was kind of, I wanted to go to Oregon, I was in love with Tip Kelly offense, but I tore my ACL my junior year, so a lot of the big schools backed down. And like Chris said, a lot of schools backed off, and so my senior year I didn't have no offers. A lot of interest, but nobody pulled the trigger. I think my size played a part, but at the same time my knee injury did the same thing. So my offensive line coach, new coach O'Daffer, who was our recruiter, who recruited me and Grass here. And as like Grass said, took a year off, wasn't really comfortable with my knee, and I wanted to be the best player I can be. Took a year off, moved to North Carolina to work out and hopefully get a chance to play at Liberty. They was interested, didn't pull the trigger. So I just came back home, and Coach O'Daffer talked to me the whole year. He made me seem like he was interested. He every step of the way he guided me and talked to me about everything. It was cool. It was a different environment. Me from being from St. Pete, it was a lot of city, urban type thing, and being up here, being in the country, like a small town was kind of different for me. I thought about transferring after my freshman year, my freshman year fall. I had a good year, had some tape, had some film, and I was gonna try to go to a big school, the ideal school for me. I felt like I could play at. And just talking to Chris the whole time, he told me he was interested. They showed him some love, and I told him, man, like, if you come up here, I'll stay. He came on a visit. He told me, like, yeah, bro, I'm coming. I'm gonna come. And I was like, all right, well, if you coming, I'm gonna stay, and I eventually stayed.
When asked about high school experiences, Stu explains the importance of family history, while Grass explains about moving to a new environment.
Well, for me, it was like a family tradition thing. Like, all my people back at home attended high school, so it was a no-brainer for me. I knew I was going there from the time I was a little kid. So, but on the experience, it was, like I said, it was big for me because it was a tradition thing, and I wanted to keep it in the family. I wouldn't say a bad experience, probably was like, just like being where it was kind of like a lot of gangs and a lot of violence going on, so other than that, man, I love the high school. They treated me good on my behalf.
So I think kind of like, just like what he was saying about like gangs and like, just like the different neighborhoods and stuff, it was totally different. Cause me, I actually transferred to Gibbs. I'm from St. Pete, but I transferred to Gibbs. My 9th grade year, I went to Wiregrass High School. And transferring to Gibbs, it was just a totally different school. It was a totally different environment. So like, I just kind of had to adjust to it, good and bad. But, it turned out that, it ended up treating me good, both academically and athletically. So it was a good experience for me. So I grew up in south side of St. Pete. Honestly, it was rough, growing up there because you just didn't know what to expect on a day-to-day basis. Where I was at, it was a lot of gang members, a lot of like, a lot of robberies, a lot of break-ins, drug dealers, staying next to drug dealers and stuff, and criminals, and it was hard growing up, just for me and my family. My parents, my dad ended up going back to school to become a registered nurse, as well as my mom. She went and worked 2 jobs also, and my dad ended up working 2 jobs, and they were just working extremely hard, to get us away from that neighborhood because they wanted better, for me and my sister and my 2 brothers as well. One of my brothers, unfortunately, he took the rough way, he took the rough route. He ended up committing the crime and getting locked up in prison. He was sentenced in prison for like 5 years. He was my older brother, and that kind of like just changed my outlook on life. And like at that moment, I just knew like, okay, I gotta do better. Like I can't, I don't want to end up like that. There's so much out there. There's so much that I want to do in my life, and I know if I just keep doing, if I do what he does, then I'm gonna end up just like him. So just staying focused through everything. I had a great support system within like my mom and my dad, and it kind of, they stayed on us about, school, go to school, play football. Like that's all you have to worry about right now. Like, everything else is just not important. Just focus on going to school and playing football. And that kind of just kept me level at it, through it all. And, eventually, things were starting to fall into place.
I proceeded to ask Stu about any life-changing events, and he explains his history with his grandmother and how she has impacted his life.
Something that changed my life was growing up. Like I told you, I had my family. Me and my grandma was close, actually. Me and my grandma we always had a close bond, but my junior year when I tore my ACL and I really couldn't do nothing, I used to sit down with my grandma. We just have a conversation, and just talk about life and stuff like that. And, one of my biggest goals was to play football in college and actually have my grandma come watch me and come see me. So, like I said, I took a year off from school in November. There was the date, December 8th. I got a call from my sister that morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was in North Carolina, and I got the bad news that my grandma had a stroke. And so when that happened, it kind of took a toll on me because I know it sounds bad, but I planned in my mind I was gonna lose my grandma before I graduated high school. And when I didn't, you know, I thought my grandma was Superman. I thought my grandma was invincible. And when I got that news, it kind of killed me inside. But I went back home and I seen my grandma, and I ended up losing her the day after Christmas, December 26th. And when that happened, I told myself, like, hey, I'm gonna be driven, like, and now it's time to go. Like, I weighed all my options and found out Adrian College was probably the best situation for me. I sat down and talked to my parents, and they said, yeah, you know, and my whole thing was to make my grandma proud. Because before I left, I told her I was going to play college football, no matter where it was. And Adrian College gave me the opportunity to do that, so I took full advantage. And coming up in my freshman year, every game, even still to this day, every time I go out and put on some pass minutes for my grandma, because I told her what I was going to do, and I don't want to let her down. So I even got my grandma name tatted on me, so that's just a reminder to keep going and keep pushing.
Both Grass and Stu dream for an NFL career. So as we look back on these two student athletes, we wish the best for them as they take their next step in life.